I'd like to welcome everybody to TFTV2. Be casting the invite lower bracket round 1, Mentality versus Velocity. Be playing the maps Product, Cardinal, and Sunshine in that order in this best of 3. So yeah, just a little bit of a pre-game. Went over these two teams met twice in the preseason or in the regular season, both times meeting on the map CP Gullywash. Both times was in favor of Mentality 5-4. So it'd be interesting to see how these maps play out, considering both times it was decided by a difference of 1 round. So yeah, tonight I have Morris on production, and my co-caster is going to be Beel.
What's good, everybody?
I suppose I should introduce myself as well. I'm FrickMyNick. So
yeah, this is actually going to be a really fun match to commentate and watch because these teams have a bit of a history. If you didn't know, one thing that is that Bear used to play for Velocity, and a lot of these players have
as well as Kryptonite. Kryptonite played for Velocity in previous iterations.
So there's kind of a rivalry between these two teams right now because they definitely want to beat their former teammates. They want to show each other that they've improved. And throughout the season, Mentality has been really showing Velocity what that's all about.
I was gonna say, it'd be interesting to see him on a different map, but yeah, both times Mentality showed up big when it mattered, and were able to edge out the matches. So going into our first map would be Product. What do you think about the team matchups? How did the team compositions break down?
Well, on the side of Mentality, the one thing that I notice the most is that they have Patty, Moo, and Max.
Alright, I don't mean to cut you off here, but we are going live. So we're waiting for the teams to get readied up and on their respective team. Who's the player to watch on this midfield? Who's the standout player? Who's going to be the difference maker throughout this series?
I think that it's probably going to be a scout, and I'm thinking it's going to be Moo. Moo is going to go crazy on this mid.
Alright, we're going into our first mid here. Yeah, both our demos arriving at about the same time. We have a quick Sculpture Bomb from Speedy. Patty looks like he's trying to go behind. Kusa hits a high bomb on his own, on the other team's concrete. Gets taken down super early. Lost is going to look to play off this man advantage.
And like I was saying earlier, like the one thing that happened here is immediately Mentality just got positioning. They didn't even necessarily need frags as so much as that they needed to ensure that they were getting damage there.
I was gonna say, with Kuso going down super early, losing a spam class almost instantly, you almost instantly saw Velocity back up, and during that like lag time while their team was backing up, they lost Saiga. See an Uber scenario. Sky hasn't been building particularly well. It's actually does not have an Uber yet, but we see what should be an even Uber situation with Velocity trying to take back the point.
Speedy getting some good rockets in on the demo man there. And Moo trying to position themselves back to take this Uber in. I don't really, they're going to get an exchange here, and Moo's going to go behind. The May trying to get some damage in on the column on the other side. Side guy going in deep, and a rotation across points happening, and the scouts are just engaging, tearing off Velocity. It's a slaughterfest, a 1v1 between May and Rakuso goes on, but Rakuso goes down. It's a clean slate. It seems like the Mentality is gonna have to be driven back to their spawn and regroup.
Yeah, so we saw the Uber exchange from Velocity. They wanted to see if they could get the point back with an Uber exchange, and then after the exchange, they actually did way more damage compared to Mentality. And they ended up losing a lot of players just because they weren't able to aggress at the same time. Their aggression was very scattered. Saw Sky Guy go in initially and then get pushed back as he was super. Sky goes down. There was some spam from May.
And a crazy air shot from Rakuso. That was insane. That was a downward direct.
Oh, we see the Boar Sniper behind their own house. Mentality trying to play around their own med. Soldier bombs are in. Scouts on the medic. Goes down. Bear's able to stay alive in his own house.
It's my theory that the Mentality Sniper will be coming out very soon.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if, especially Max, I know Max is a particularly good sniper. It'd be interesting to see if Max goes sniper and they'll put Patty on scout. So we do see the Boar Sniper on the side of Velocity.
Seems like he's gonna switch off of it though. So this is an interesting strategy of the ins and outs.
Yeah, I'm surprised they wouldn't keep it there, considering they're about. I would assume they would go for a 4-man sack. Oh, and actually, Velocity was a player. They lose Sky to the crits. Bear was on the crits before going down very quickly. I see a rudimentary 4-man sack, but they've already lost their medic, so Velocity's just looking to get some trade frags. Hopefully, they can get the point. Velocity has yet to cap this point. Mentality's down to 40 seconds left on the clock, and Velocity is yet to cap.
Bear going down to that bomb. That sack actually was successful, and Bear did die. Ooh,
yeah, no, almost
May
completely
going down. This is bad for Mentality. Velocity getting some time on.
So after the huge play off the back of Shamu, getting a 3K there to end up that fight, winning out the DM fight. We're gonna see Velocity trying to get into a forward hold of their own. Hopefully take back some of this time. Oh yeah, we see Patty's in behind. We'll see if they know. Doesn't look like they know. He's on the Scott. Gets 1 rocket, 2 rocket. Oh, this guy's 1 HP, goes down. Cruiser trades the frag, but you know, Bear's at a 35% ad, plus the respawn timer is not looking good for Velocity.
That's what they really didn't need to overcommit right there. They needed to just play the point and get positioning, get damage, and assert their dominance over
And Shamu's in behind again, taking a 1v1, goes down.
That's gotta clean that up. They're just feeding in.
Yeah.
Like you're seeing, like, the next thing is you're gonna get bombs in.
So the big thing I've seen out of Velocity this round is a lot of their aggression is stifled. They go for a 3-man sack with all the projectile costs. They get the force out of Bear. Sky is trying to leave into spawn. Oh, but the soldier's into the spawn. Hits get a rocket on Sky, but Patty's just gonna back up. End up trading out with Shamu. He's should go down shortly. Oh, but he doesn't go down. Kryptonite's able to come in and save his soldier partner. There's 10 seconds left on the point for Mentality. We'll see if Velocity can get any players on the point before the overtime comes in. Oh, we see Speedy come in and get a pick frag on a Bear. It's all for naught. The first round goes to Mentality Esports.
I wonder how that'll affect Bear's mentality going into the second round, because he's really serious about maintaining his stats throughout the whole thing. It's gonna annoy him. But he's typically a cool gamer.
I was gonna say, I don't think that one will bother him. That's kind of a garbage time threat. We're gonna see our second mid here. About the same mid we saw last time. We see the early soldier bomb out of Speedy. Make some space, it's a ton of damage. CVS Pharmacy is gonna jump in, try and get some pressure off of him, do a lot of damage on the point. They end up trading out May and Kryptonite for 4 and Rakusa. They lose Sky. Patty's able to get in and get Sky. Bear and Max on the point. We'll see if during this transition time if Saigai and Shamu can hunt down the former Velocity medic.
Ooh, nice. Bear gets out, saving his own life, getting the pack, and his mates just come just in time. So they're trying to get some damage in here before they commit. Bear going in with 95%. With that Uber ad, they're gonna go probably for a push here.
Oh, but Bear eats a ton of spam. It's at 100% ad. We'll see if they get this point for Soldier Bomb's gonna force it out of him though.
Fantastic Uber pop from Bear there. 11 HP. And they're just cleaning everything up. But Sky still hasn't gone down. Now they have the Uber ad, and Bear is really weak.
And we see Rakusa in on the back lines. It looks like they know he's there, but they aren't really positioned to follow up on. He's just in the other team's spawn. He's just going to go behind their own cliff and try and create a distraction when his team's able to push back in.
This is the classic CVS Pharmacy lurking style. There he goes. He's getting in. He's getting on the scout for some reason, and he goes down. Unfortunate.
Yeah, I was to say, we see the forward hold out of Mentality. They lose both their soldiers, but they wipe Velocity in return. So easy frags when they try and push out into the double soldier spam on the right side there.
Seems like they're going to go for a 4-man sack here.
Yeah, we should expect to see a 4-man, considering Velocity is at a about a 75% Uber disad here. They're taking space on their own grab. I think they're probably going to wait for the spawn of Speedy, which happens in a few seconds here. This round's a lot closer from the first, at least, to see. Both teams are about 2 minutes left on their clock. Oh, we see some aggression out of Mentality on the other team's grass. They do a ton of damage. They're able to get Bull Scout. And they just Uber into the other team. They're able to get a Scout. Now they're able to get the demo. They trade 2 for 3 here, but Sky's going to have an ad to push back out with.
And that's going to look really good for Velocity. If they play their cards right here, they should be able to get this Uber and get some aggression. If they can get at least 2 picks pushing back in on this point, they should be able to re-secure it.
Yep, so they're just going to wait for the spawn of Speedy and try and go up their ad. They're at 75% now, so they should go in the next 4 to 5 seconds. Seeing Mentality, they're both their soldiers stacked. You see a double soldier bomb out of Mentality. Both soldiers on the sky. Sky goes down before they're able to get the Uber.
Ooh, you hate to
massive.
see it.
Time and time again, Mentality's able to find the med pick before Sky quite has her. Oh, but Rakusu in on the flank gets bared.
And big pipes coming out of Saigai.
Yeah, Saigai is able to trade the frag. See the Boar Sniper. We see some desperation plays coming out of Velocity. Had about a minute and a half disad on their clock. Gonna have a small Uber edge just because of the spawn timer, just differential. This guy's gonna spawn a little bit before Bear. Ooh, and the Boar Sniper is out and is able to pick Patty right away.
It seems I'm not really seeing like a conducive strategy coming from Velocity. They seem to just be sacking in and trying to get whatever they can, and if they can get positioned like this, I mean, they have the point, but they haven't quite forced Mentality out. And now that they get a pick on Rakuso, Kryptonite goes down, and Saigai pushes in, trying to get some damage on point, trying to get something. It's kind of forcing Velocity to get out, and they exchange Ubers coming across.
But Bear doesn't have it yet. Bear's at 90, goes down. Shamu's able to get the pick on the medic at the very last second.
That's actually what you like to see. That's actually exactly what needed to happen for Velocity, right? Might have spoke too soon.
Yeah, but Mentality's able to come back in. This soldier aggression out of Mentality has been phenomenal all game. It's been super coordinated.
Surfs.
Oh, but Kryptonite's in the connector. Does he go for the play? He does not. He opts to live. Yep, so we're just going to see a reset from both teams. Mentality is about 10 seconds left on their clock. Velocity is still looking at about 2 minutes left here. Going to see Mentality push in, try and drain every second they can off the clock before giving it up.
Boar is on Sniper, getting crazy damage on players. Actually, he's not quite getting any frags, but I don't think it's going to matter. The second round goes to Mentality.
So yeah, we're seeing a lot of stifled aggression onto Velocity. Seeing May do a really, really good job of being able to put the pressure on, not letting the team follow up off the soldier bombs. You see a lot of times like Speedy and Rakuso are making a ton of space, but May is just doing an excellent job of denying them the potential to follow up.
I'm just Velocity is so close to getting their way, and it's like you said, stifled aggression is just not. It's just not going their way.
Yeah, this is a great example of that. You see 5 players down in the red on the side of Mentality, but the scouts on Velocity are just stuck behind their own cliff. They're just not able to follow up. Soldiers doing their bombs, just attracting enough eyes for make sure that their scouts can get the space and get the damage in, but we're just not seeing enough aggression at Velocity.
Well, it's not so much aggression, is that I see that the Mentality's health management is a lot better in a sense than Velocity's. An old mentor of mine once told me that it's not really how much health you have, you only need 1 HP. As long as you live, you're still in the game. And that philosophy is definitely paying off for Mentality. They go for an Uber exchange here, trying to focus down Max, and Max goes down. And it seems that for the moment, Velocity has the better end of this Uber exchange. Oh, and focusing Patty.
Oh, Bear is caught in. Both the scouts are on a Bear. He get the saws. He's at 42%. He needs 3 more. Oh, but Boo's able to come in and save his medic. You'll see fight over the points. Big transition fight here. Velocity's going to get a bunch of spawns and try and play their spawn event. Shamu goes down. Mentality, just the raw aggression, are able to find the frags.
Sky gets out though, and that's I mean, they're still in it in that way. As long as they have heals, they can still get like a really good exchange here. Hopefully, if Sky can get Uber. Bear does almost have Uber here, and
say Bear's got about a 40% advantage. You got to be careful.
Oh, and he comes out instantly.
Oh, the Uber onto Sky. Sky was just a little bit too overcommitted. They didn't call where Bear was. They're able to close the distance super quickly with that double soldier bomb. It's time and time again out of Mentality. This double soldier bomb is just saving the day for them. Like, they get 4 or 5 players down in the red zone, but a double soldier bomb either early or late into the fight just seals the deal.
It's reflecting Patty's ability to call those double soldier bombs. It's pretty much one of his best qualities on this particular map. That type of coordination goes back all the way to Rewind 1. where he just went off on his Vida game just against 7.
So we're going to see Velocity trying to break the portal. They do an effective job getting full soldiers, but at the cost of both their scouts and their demo themselves. See Bear with a tiny Uber red here. I don't think it's going to come into play. But we just see Mentality regrouping, trying to play the point. Not giving up like hardly any space. They're making it so hard for Velocity to get any space at all.
Right now, we're just seeing them, Velocity, try and like push like their head against thing. Bear gets forced exactly what you want to see, and it's exactly what the objective of that sack was. And they actually, ooh,
yeah, but
goes
the
down.
sack is effectively ineffective because they end up losing Sky before that all goes down. So Bear's still gonna have even. Oh, but the late bomb from Speedy takes down Bear.
Speedy big gamer, make big play, big frag.
Yeah, but I don't think Mentality's going to care too much. They have 5 seconds left on their clock. While they're at the spawn disadvantage, Velocity has to get on the point and win this DM fight. Teams are duking it out over the other team's rock. Ooh, and Velocity's not able to get on the point. 3-0 going into the half.
Wow. So what do you think? Let's I think they're gonna ready up before we can look at any stats. But I'm just like, Velocity needs to take a minute here. This is one of the most important times. Bopper always tells me that halftime is when you can turn things down. You have the ability to cool off the other team. You have the ability to talk about, and that's what Velocity needs to do here. They're getting really aggressive, and it looks like they don't opt to take their time getting into this second half.
No, they are.
Wait,
they are.
they
Not
are.
everybody's ready. It's just the config being broken. TF2's a bug-free game.
Yeah.
So I think the looking at the stats here on my other monitor, we have a couple telling stats that are standing out to me. Have exactly 3 players over 350 DPM. We have Max at 373, we have May at 417, and we have Shamu at 355. And the other stat that jumps out to me is Sky is at a total of 3 Ubers, whereas Bear is at 9. So Mentality's just doing a much better job of making sure Bear's staying alive for longer, so they have those Ubers for those crucial fights. And a lot of times when they're using these Ubers, even if they're getting forced, in quotes, they're still able to get 2 or 3 frags and the medic with it.
Yeah, that's May is just absolutely pounding them. 6 med picks. Max is getting in there and just distracting them. They're all turning around and focusing all their attention on Max and the Roamer Kryptonite, and Patty is just getting in there, and those double soldier bombs are just annihilating them. I don't even.
Yep. So we're going live in our second half here. We'll see if Velocity can make a comeback. They are on the game theory team, taking to climb the mountain that is a 3-0 lead from the side of Mentality. See a lot more passive mid on the side of Velocity this time, opting not to initiate, but we see the double soldier bomb onto Rakusu and he goes down instantly. All the positioning on their on the concretes are going to aggress. They're getting the frags and Velocity. They're getting way more optimal spam. Time and time again, Mentality on these mids and these team fights, they're losing 3-4 players down to like red health, but none of them are dying. Just Velocity needs to be doing a better job of focusing down the frags and following up on their soldiers' damage.
Well, it also comes down to I feel like for Velocity, they don't really have a great main caller, at least one that isn't as seasoned as Patty is. Patty did a lot of main calling, and he did play for Froyotech. I wouldn't say that's his most defining moment, but it's definitely when he came into his own as a main caller, taking Ubers, pushing in on pocket, and that it's very important having that experience, which is something I don't feel Velocity really has on their team. I mean, Side Guy did play for Ascent, and plenty of other people on the other team have been in high invite, even winning intermediate, but there's a stark difference between that and just being one of the best callers in the game. And all these bombs, all this pressure, calling forward, it's so easy for Patty.
Oh yeah, I was saying, it definitely looks like it's lacking on the side of Velocity. Presence of Jairus being very much missed. We're going to see Velocity trying to push in on a dry push. Bear's about to be up on his Ubers at 97%. 5 players inside of Velocity are in red health, and 3 of them go down. They trade 3 for 3. Bear's still alive with his Uber. able to pop it off. They get
when he goes down.
That was an extra feed on the side of Percuso. He went down super early in that fight. Was able to get in because of his fast spawn, but ends up just feeding and adding more time on another respawn time. More time on the side of Mentality, who almost has a 2-minute lead this round. It's not looking good for Velocity.
Patty up to something funky here, kind of little baiting, getting in late, but he's getting huge damage in through connector.
Yeah, Bull Soldiers were too focused on Patty, and Mentality was able to just wash over the side of Concrete and get Bull Soldier frag. And the Bull Soldier frag, as Bull Soldier's going down, they're able to just storm in with the massive like damage potential that they have.
I got a huge air shot on Patty there, though.
But how much does that matter, though? I mean, I can't imagine Velocity's in a good place mentally, you know? Being down there a minute left.
I'm just calling for plays. I see big air shot, I make big call.
Big call, big frag. Anyways, see Velocity trying to push in at full Uber disad. They are 30 seconds away from losing this first map 4-0 to Mentality Esports. Mentality's getting super aggressive with the Uber. Sky is crazily committed on the side of Clip. They're chasing it in. The Sky got down super weak, but Sky's able to live. At the expense of both Scouts and Soul. Oh, and Patty's in late and is able to trade the frag. Sky goes down 10 seconds left for Mentality.
It's not looking good. This just yeah. This is
We're gonna see some players bomb into the point, but I think it's gonna be all for naught. I see a bunch of red players getting on the point, but it's a meat grinder. They're going down. Just an exercise of focus fire for Mentality.
Ooh.
Sky, the last one alive with 50 seconds. Is Sky gonna be able to delay it long enough for the spawners of Velocity to get in? Does not look like it's gonna be 4-0 for Mentality on product.
Sky had to do something there. I don't know why she didn't opt to just go in and die.
So yeah, that's gonna be 4-0 for Mentality.
Look at these stats.
Take a peek at the stats, yes.
Made 400 DPM. Wait for them to get those up.
So I think the telling stat that stands out to me the most is Max is 394 DPM and 33 for 10. Velocity as a team throughout that entire map got 63 frags. Max had more than half of that.
It's a team farm. It's a dynamic issue. It's not, you can't really pick out one thing that's going wrong for Velocity, but more so like they've had a lot of roster fluctuations this whole season, and I feel like that's definitely like there's a major lack of cohesion over here. And when you look at Mentality, you just see like even though they've also had that issue, it just goes like back to what I'm saying, Patty's ability as a team leader to bring people together. And this combo definitely, like from what I've heard, they all are really into each other. They all love playing with each other, and that's definitely showing not just in their stats but in their gross performance.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just as a team, Mentality just seemed to play a lot more together. You saw like soldiers bombing the same area, and instantly you'd see scouts in the demo able to follow up on the damage. Whereas on the side of Velocity, you kind of just saw like a few disgruntled like pockets of people. The soldiers would go in and die, and the scouts would go in and die, and then eventually it'd be just the demo and medic trying to leave. But we weren't able to see that like cohesion. Definitely does not seem like Velocity has like one core main color, and a map like product that definitely hurts.
Yeah, it's so crucial, and that game, I don't really expect them. I didn't really expect them to do well, Velocity, because like I said, this was definitely a Mentality map. But going into Cardinal, I have no idea. Like, Cardinal is such a anybody's map. I personally, I don't even know how to play that map, so it's definitely going to be interesting to see how both teams perform on it.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I actually don't even know if I have the map installed, to be honest, so this will be interesting. I've never actually played this map. I think I played like one of the very first iterations when it was on like Pug Champ or Mix Champ for like one of those like off-map Sundays, but with the exception of that, I have actually never played this map, so.
It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see the two KOTH maps in a bracket. That's super interesting because
No, Cardinal is actually 5 CP.
Oh, it is.
not
I was
called
thinking of something else. I think. See,
Yeah,
that's how much I
Bagel
played
was
it.
on
Bagel, yeah,
Bagel
that's
was-
it. I was thinking on Bagel, like
That's
that's
it. I
how
think
much
that
I
was one of
played
the-
it though.
Yeah, when they did the map vote a couple seasons ago, I think Bagel was either second or third. It was a popular option, but Cardinal was able to edge it out in the end. So yeah, we're just waiting between maps. We saw a pretty dominating performance out of Mentality on the first map for those of us joining late. People finishing up scrims who are coming over from TFTV1, etc., etc. So yeah, we're just waiting on the second map, Cardinal, to go live. You have to wait for it to catch up at least, like the minute and a half delay or whatever it is. No, it's alright. I was gonna say, I'm just like sitting here like spamming connect and then the plugin. So now I just look like a fool talking to myself, talking to the production man. It's a classic. Sorry, I'm of nobody of importance, so I can look cringy on stream. It is a-okay, kids.
It's alright. We all have our moments, Frick. You know, especially the last time we were in slime time.
Oh yeah, we
man.
had an entire season of it, so.
That was a good time. It's all the pain we went through on that team. I have to say that it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, there were periods of time where it was fun when we had 6 players.
When we had 6 players, yeah.
Yeah, we can cut to music because I don't really think there's too much to gather from the stats.
For you guys, going right up.
So yeah, we'll go.
And we are live. This ESTV, brought to you by TFTV, is now good to go. Thanks, Try, for everything you do for us.
Yeah, TF2 is 2018. We have fixable STVs now. Looks like Mentality is pushing into Velocities. The last score is currently 2-0 based on the ESEA page. I don't know where the STV is at relative to that, because I just updated it. But it does not look good for Mentality. They're down 3, just scout. They end up wiping out. I see Velocity push out a full wipe.
Yeah, it looks like complete and total chaos for the Vitality side. That Sentry really did a number on them. They got that down late. The confusion seems like, from first glance, that there was a bit of a miscommunication where that Sentry was, and it probably ruined the push.
Yep. So we're going to see Velocity pushing with about a 75% Uber ad. We actually see the Moose Sniper on the side of Mentality. We'll see if the Moose Sniper is able to come to fruition. See Velocity starting to push into mid. Sly Guy is very delayed on his own too, looks like. But Sky is in for free. They've sapped 2 players now. Moose Sniper still not finding anything. Just as I say that though, takes the head off Boar. Boar goes down. But still looking like a mid for Velocity.
Bob says Boar comes up sniper.
Oh yeah, Boar's probably tilted after that one. Boar's gonna challenge me. Yeah, Bear's at 90% Uber. He's actually building really, really fast. Is he on crits? He is not. He's just building particularly fast the entire time. I'm gonna see an even Uber stalemate with Velocity on mid. See the Mentality Sniper.
Ooh, and the Force comes out. Oh, exchange.
Yep, looking for an exchange from Velocity while they're down a player, playing up those respawn. Not really able to find a whole lot. Shamu and Rakusa are going to go down. Speedy goes down as well. Patty and Moo short to follow. 2 for 2. It looks like Velocity is really, really hurt. This guy's on a 30 HP. Or with 101 health rolling out somewhere. They're able to meet up with their medic. So we're seeing a 3v4, but it looks like Mentality's trying to push into mid with his 1 player advantage, but Velocity's about to get all their spawns.
This is insane as they keep going back and forth through these tiny little chokes and like these little micro rotations going on. I've never actually had the privilege of watching an Invite Cardinal match, but this is absolute chaos.
was gonna say, we see Velocity re-push into mid with their spawn advantage. They're able to pick 3, both the scouts and the Kryptonite going down on the side of Mentality. We see Max spawning NG to try and counter the relatively even Uber's. Bear has about a 10% advantage, not that that's gonna matter much. It looks like Mentality's gonna get pushed to their own lap, and it looks like Shamu's looking for a forward. Goes down and gets double directed by Patty. Oh, but it looks like Bear gets forced out, and Patty goes down. They're trading out 1 for 1. Sky has not had to use your Uber yet, though. Oh, he gets forced. Kryptonite's able to get into 2 and get the force. Goes down shortly afterward. Moo's able to trade this frag onto Speedy.
It's essentially even with the Bear having like a 20% ad. No, not even that.
Not even like 10. Not even that big.
It's evening up.
So yeah, we should see things calm down for a little bit here. Velocity holding on the other team's 2. Mentality on their own last. They have Max on Engineer. But the telling one is Speedy, who's on Spy. About to see some espionage.
Velocity really needs this round right now. They have to even this up because I think, I'm not sure what the time is, but this match has been going on for a while now. They've been
so there's 20 minutes left in the second half. I'm being told by production. So halftime has happened. Weren't entirely sure because we just got our SDV link fixed. We're gonna see Rakuso second to last while Speedy gets into position. I think Speedy took some damage. Did he eat like a spam? Ooh, Speedy's able to get Mac. Doesn't really look like the rest of the team's in a position to follow up, seeing as they're already 2 down. Looks like they're just gonna opt to play the trade game. Oh, Speedy with the fat dispenser sap. That's crucial right there.
May coming out the right, Shutter trying to get some damage out.
Oh, but Patty gets in and gets the force on the Sky. Sky ends up having to use your Uber, and Shamu goes down. It's an excellent play from Patty. Should opt to see Mentality pushing out a last, hopefully with this full Uber ad, as soon as they get their spawn from Patty. Looks like they're opting to go through lower lobby. I'm not super sure. I've actually never played this map, full disclosure, so I have no idea what any of the callouts are. Oh, we see Shamu spawning Spy. Let's see if Shamu can get into last. Oh, Shamu gets a spam rocket from Patty, though. They end up Ubering out, but they already know there's a Spy. There's no way that they're going to leave no players on last for this. And instantly you see the flank rotate back to last. So yeah, we see Mentality pushing out of last. Their flank gets the Spy clean up. Looks like Sky is about a 60% ad here, but they're currently down 2 players. Mentality all the positioning on their 2.
This is real interesting. This back and forth between 2 points.
Yeah, we see the leapfrog come out here. Looks like Velocity's gonna opt to try and get into 2. Oh, but we see the soldier bomb in. Kryptonite's in, gets the force on the Sky down to 21 HP. That second rocket hit her right on the head. There's no opportunity to surf that. So now we should maybe see the leapfrog again, seeing as Bear is about a 60% ad this time. Mentality's on their own last. They have a player disad currently. It looks like they're trying to sack Rakuso in the meantime. Ooh, but Shamu goes down 2, and Speedy after a 3-man sack. A 4-man sack, the George 4-man coming out of Velocity. They end up taking down Bear.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be enough to get the point. With less than 20 minutes left, they're really going to have to get something going here. And at the rate of which I've seen them pushing these points and gaining ground, it's looking dire.
Ooh, but Rakusa's able to trade the frag onto May. It's a value trade right there. Roamer for a demo. Velocity's going to get their 2 for free. They have a demo pick and a 40% ad. Guy's only at 65%, so they're not really able to use both at the same time. It looks like they're just opting to go with the demo frag. They're trying to just try push it into last. Get the Uber mid-fight. Well, they're able to pick Patty. Nobody goes down. This guy's on 90%. Gets bombed by a soldier. Surfs out in the shutter. Goes down. Moves able to find the frag. Should see Velocity wipe out here. Defender's advantage is going to be too strong for Mentality.
Really? Oh, man. So exciting. I'm on the edge of my seat right now, watching 2 great teams battle it out for life or death, especially Velocity here. Really got a pushing mentality. That was unexpected. Maybe going to Shutter here. Getting stickies down. wonder if May's gonna go for a peek and try and get some damage onto the combo.
I would imagine Mentality's gonna start peeking. They have just about 50% Uber. Bear pops in, takes the scout and the soldier. They're able to find the frags on the point. They're gonna get speedy, but are they able to find anything else? Looks like Velocity is far, far out.
Just watching last. And...
Oh, but it looks like Velocity's in a position to come back in. They're at 90%. Max and Krypton are actually about to wrap them on mid, and the Boar Sniper is out as well. So we see Velocity holding mid. They have 80% Uber. They have huge Uber here, but they have a sniper, so they have to play this pretty cautiously.
Kuso's behind. Kinda playing an interesting position. Oh, but he goes down, unfortunate. Oh, and they get Psy Guy, excuse me. That's not what you want to see when you're
So Mentality's trying to contest in from the Shutter. Shamu and Sky are still trying to contest the point with their Uber ad. Still have a 25% ad. Bear does not have it yet. Trying to feed into the frags. Are able to find Kryptonite. Boar's still trying to pop off some headshot. Headshot rings off onto May. Got some good damage on a point. Bear's still only at 90%. Still doesn't have. They're all clumped up on this point. Shamu gets a fat Uber. Everybody's in. Oh, but Bear's able to get his Uber, but not before May and Max go down. Speedy goes down to Patty, the respawner. It looks like Kryptonite's about to spawn, but it looks like Velocity should get this point. They have a player, and the sniper threat's too great.
Boar's been wanting to play this position all game. Let's see if he can get something. The scout gets in, but it looks like, oh, he's gonna live.
Oh, but Bear goes down. Cruz is able to get in and find the frag, but Max gets two. Max is able to trade out on the Shamu and Rakuso, but Boar's popping off headshot. Gets Max, he gets Patty.
Oh.
May deaths. The Psy Guy commit to it. Psy Guy's walking into last. It's a 2v4. May goes down to the spawn door. It's a 1v1. Psy versus the scout. Oh, and the respawners come in. Moo and Bear are able to come in and save it. Pushing out through the Shutter. Kuso feeds into Max with the heals. Scout's OP. Can't fight a scout with heals. Oh, but the back cap's on. Shibu's on last. May jumps into contested. Oh, just barely blocks at the very last second.
Unfortunate.
So we're going to see Velocity with about a 25% disad, but they have a demo pick, so it looks like they're trying to push in off that. Speedy on the shotgun, trying to make some space for his team, ends up going down. Oh, Kryptonite's able to find the frag in the sky. Moo gets Psy Guy and Boar before Kusa trades out, man. Moo. So we're gonna see tattered pieces of Velocity try and make a play, but looks like this is a Mentality mid. So it looks like all of Velocity is actually gonna get their forward spawns. Bear's at basically full Uber ad, 95% ad. Should opt to see Velocity holding very passively while Soldiers look for an opportunity to get onto Bear.
Speedy trying to play lobby here, trying to find a position that he can get in. This mid, it's like Velocity was so close to getting that in. Now it just seems to be just going in. Bear pops off the Uber, and now in the post-fight, Sky has the advantage, so I would assume Velocity will elect to go back to last and get this Uber. Put up a defense.
Yep, but we actually see a soldier in from Velocity behind it. It's Rakuso trying to find his way back into mid. Eats a ton of damage. Moo's able to clean up the frag. We'll have to see if Velocity goes off this. They actually have 2 soldier frags. Apologies. Let's see if Mentality will go off that. They had 2 soldier picks, but they're at an Uber disad. Sky's about to have, so I think they're wary of the Uber from Sky. Looks like they're trying to push out through this little connector. Shamu's able to find the frag onto Moo. Knight's on last. Rakuso's on last. 1v1 of the century. Rakuso's able to win it out. Patty goes down. 3 down on the side of Mentality. They're about to get their Uber charge. So we see both soldiers down for Mentality Esports, even Ubers on both teams. So we're going to see if Velocity opts to make a play into mid while both soldiers are about to spawn in 1 second. Looks like Velocity's opting for an exchange play. Uber's being exchanged on the point. Looks like Bear had a slightly worse Uber, but Velocity is losing players left, right, and center. Sky goes down, Speedy goes down, Boar goes down. up to Rakuso and Shamu to try and salvage. Bear goes down to 40 HP, not able to convert anything. Sai's able to find the frag on a Patty. It's a small consolation prize, but they've already won their team an Uber advantage and probably the second point with their man advantage.
The control point is being captured.
This is an incredibly close back and forth.
Mentality's able to edge out, just very, very small. I think the biggest deciding factor is overall is that the soldiers are able to find Sky a lot more consistently than they're able to find Bear. A lot of times they're trading soldiers 1-for-1, but they're able to just get enough damage that, like, without very much risk at all, they're able to clean up Sky. So we see Bear with about a 50% advantage. I believe Sky hasn't been building particularly well, because I think it was only about 30 when they spawned. Yeah, so we're gonna actually see the heavy coming in from Patty. They're pushing in top left, in with the Uber. Sky's on 75%. They only need to buy a little bit more time to get this Uber. Pete's in top left. He's able to clean the stickies up. They're all over the point. This guy's about to have an Uber 90%. Need to buy crucial time. Shamu Sniper's able to dome Patty, take him down. Mentality's feeding in the front. They're able to trade out Sky, but their entire team goes down for it.
Alert. The control point is being contested.
So we see Velocity with a free push into 2. Sky and Boar spawn in 3. Bear's gonna have a very minuscule Uber ad. Moo opts to spawn Sniper.
So Sky's gonna come up with a little bit of Uber disad, but I don't think it's really gonna matter.
No, the building's already evened out. It's about 2% in favor of Bear.
At
See
this
Velocity?
point, the deciding factor is really just positioning and timing. If Sky just like modified her position to be just a little bit more passive, I don't think Mentality would be able to kill her as much.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think overall, just Velocity seems to not be quite as cohesive as Mentality. Mentality seems to definitely be playing around Patty and like definitely working around like the double soldier bomb and the soldier synergy that they have. Whereas Velocity really doesn't have that. They don't really have like one central player that they seem to be trying to play off currently. We're gonna see even Ubers. Velocity's holding their 2. Mentality holds mid, and they currently have Moo on Sniper. Trying to find an angle through this ramp room. Trying to peek the shutter, they opt to rotate away.
Right now, I think Velocity needs to like play off of the fact that they have 2 really good off-class players in Shamu and Boar. Boar's an incredible sniper, and Shamu's spy gameplay is almost second to none, other than Marmalade, which comes to mind. But Guy's demo gameplay would allow Sky to be a lot more forward. Unfortunately, Speedy and Kusa go down.
Yeah, the aggressive peeking from Mentality, they're able to find all the players from Velocity bunch up. Very scared of that Moo Sniper. Claims a frag there onto one of the scouts, I believe. It was onto Shamu, I want to say. But he also was able to rattle off a couple headshots during that fight, get some damage on Sniper. So it looks like it's even Ubers, but Velocity is down too. Looks like Mentality's opting to try and trade into
Sky's weak.
If Moo's able to go down, Sky's 23 HP just behind this crate, is not able to see anything. 1 Rogue Scatter, 1 Rogue Rocket would force her, and there it is. Patty's able to get the force. Yep, so Bear's at a full Uber ad here. They're down 2 players. Looks like Velocity is probably going to be able to get the second point, but you'd expect to see Mentality push in very shortly with this full ad. Especially too, while Velocity has spawners, try and opt to get this for free. See Bear delaying in the shutter super hard. Speedy's in, goes down.
Ooh, and they get a force. That's exactly what Velocity was trying to get here. Hopefully Sai doesn't get caught out here, and he's trying to duel this combo right now, but yeah, Sky gets out free with Rakuso, and
yeah, they're just a little bit too overcommitted.
Trying to finish the job. It's all ogre.
So we'll see the time remaining. It's gonna be 3-0 for Mentality currently. Yeah, it's just Velocity stuck around way too long on that too, especially after they sacked 3 players for that Uber Force. I was on the Rakuso cam expecting him to be the one in, but it was actually the other 3 flank players and the Soldier and Scouts from Velocity that went down. So we're gonna see another mid. It's down 3-0, 6.5 minutes remaining. Velocity's able to make a comeback, but only just. It's gonna be a hell of a task.
If they make a comeback, I don't know. I mean, with Sky going down right there, it's It's not looking good for them.
No, the double soldier bomb from Mentality time and time again paying dividends for them. They're able to get in, just dominate all of the high ground. Patty jumps in, forces the player off the high ground, able to jump away, serve his life, while Kryptonite's able to follow up and instantly take the high ground. 250 health after that jump, just able to rain hell on the other team. Bruce.
What I'm seeing is like at this point, it's a huge part of TF2 is momentum, and no pun intended, but mentality. And right now, it seems like those two factors are going in the way of mentality gaming.
Oh yeah. Kuso ends up going down. Looks like Velocity's looking for any opportunity to try and make a comeback. Start mounting this comeback. Time is definitely against them. Doesn't look like they want to hold last, but looks like they're forced to. The impending Uber charge from Bear. Maxley gets dropped to the sentry gun. They're able to Uber in on the right side, but they're not able to get anything for this. They're only able to get the sentry gun.
Sky
But Patty
down.
gets in and gets Scott. Moo's rolling out on Heavy. Heavy's underpass, I believe is what that's called. Kuso's on to May. May goes down. We still have this Heavy underpass. Bear's able to get in and heal the Heavy to 450. Sky's still down. Looks like Bear's going to have about a 40% advantage. Although Velocity's going to have a demo ad for the next few seconds. We'll see if they opt to try and go off of it. Looks like they are content to hold last. While they're pretty aggressive in this lobby, looking for any opportunities, time is becoming very, very dire. So we see Mentality just holding on 2. They have about a 30% ad. We'll see if they opt to go with this Boar pick. Bear at 99%. They're able to push in this left side shutter. The Heavy following up. They Uber in on the left. They pop through the doorway, taking everybody in. Take the Scout, Soldier, and the Demo. A little bit split up. The Heavy Uber top left. Saiga's able to go down. Oh, Sticky's on the point. Expect to see some point pressure coming in very, very soon. Shamu goes down. Everybody's on the point. Spy actually pops and crits off. They're able to find 2 frags with it. Everybody's going down on the side of it on Velocity. It's 4-0 for Mentality. The GGs are coming out in chat. 4 minutes flat on the clock for Velocity to come back. Don't think it's mathematically possible, assuming Mentality doesn't just sit and spawn and lets them through, but it's not looking good for Velocity. Yep, and Speedy's already on the DH.
I think this is garbage time, but what is? Ooh, I mean, this guy's still alive.
Yep. So Saigai and Sky are able to live the mid. They're able to trade out for Kryptonite and Max on the other side, but Sky goes down to 7 HP. Super, super weak. Patty's on the chase. But looks like just gonna have some fun in the garbage time. Mentality's probably looking to make it 5-0, make it send a message to the whoever awaits them in the lower bracket finals. Make sure that they know what's up. They're not to be trifled with. But I think for Velocity, it's just some consolation time. Just here to finish out the game. Maybe get some sick frag movie clip. Oh, the Heavy coming out from Speedy.
I like it.
Gets the early force. Sky with a much, much better Uber. Shamu's able to get on the Bear into lobby. But it looks like Mentality's just going to last. They're able to find the frags in this chaos. Saigai gets 2 for trying to go for the point, but it's just Sky left alive. May's getting on the point. It's looking like 5-0. And there it is. 5-0 for Mentality. Not a single round for Velocity the entire series.
That was a real Putis game, honestly. That was Putis gaming.
Yeah.
I love it.
Genuinely surprised that the game was not closer in favor for Velocity, considering both times that they played in the regular season. As I said in the pregame, it was 5-4 on Gully Wash both times. And I was interested to see that Gully Wash didn't come up, considering they already played it twice. And how close it was both times. Both teams could have made a little adjustments to win it across the board. But it's 5-0 and 4-0 on both maps for Mentality, sending an absolute message to
Let's take
Velocity.
a look at these stats.
Alright, looking at the stats, two big numbers stand out to me. One, Moo had 55 frags. And on the other team, we see Shamu with 44 frags. I think both the scouts for their respective teams kind of had a hell of a game. but it just looks like Shamu wasn't able to find the same success that Mu was. Just seemed like Velocity always seemed to be on the back foot. I think, as we alluded to a couple times throughout the cast, it just didn't really seem like there was a core player on Velocity. It didn't really seem like there was one player they were trying to play around. In previous seasons, they had Jarrett, but they brought in Saigai for playoffs, opting for a little more aggressive playstyle and created a couple differences in the team. And they brought in Sai for playoffs once his run with Ascent was over. But I think it actually kind of hurt them overall. Like, well, that the DM upgrade was there, and like Sai is a very experienced demo. I just don't think they had like the color that Jarrett really brought to the team.
Jarrett's incredible. Jarrett didn't deserve, and then Jarrett would have made the difference here. Definitely when it came to cohesion and the experience that they had. Of course, Velocity had the reasons for the decisions that they made, but like at the end of the day, there's a lot of lessons you can learn from this matchup, from both the mentality aspect and the velocity aspect, and that's with how much time you spend with your teammates is super important. How much like experience you've built up with them. A lot of the players on mentality have played with each other in previous seasons, and a lot of the players on mentality have a lot of experience with each other in various ways. While the players on velocity, this is very much a new chemistry that hasn't been worked out yet, and they're definitely still needing to experiment and come into their own as a team.
I was gonna say, I think there's little parts of Velocity that have a lot of experience. Like Shamu and Sky have played together for a couple seasons, and have had Speedy for a little while. And obviously, Sky and Rakuso and all the other members of 8K have a lot of experience together. But I just think it's just not quite there without like their synergy to Jarrett. I think Jarrett was kind of like that cornerstone piece, and it definitely showed today that they just really didn't have that like cornerstone. They didn't have that like piece to play off of. You know, there wasn't really like what one person like leading all the charges that people were to follow up off of.
Absolutely.
I think the other telling stat to me is that Sky had 26 deaths over the course of an hour, whereas Bear had 18. I think that just goes to show again just how much like the double soldier bomb and like that just the raw synergy that Mentality had as a team. It's able to execute pushes a lot more cleanly, and they were able to just follow up off like 100 damage on Sky a lot more consistently, whereas Bear went weak quite a few times. There was just never the opportunity for them to follow up.
That's about all I got. I think you said it best yourself.
So yeah, I think that's all we have. So thank you all for watching. This has been TFTV 2's cast of Mentality versus Velocity in the lower bracket round 1 of ESEA. We should expect to see Mentality take on the loser of Froyo versus Froyo Black in the upper bracket sometime within the next week. That game is currently happening over on TFTV 1 if you want to go catch that. I believe they're on the second map, although I have not had time to check. So yeah, without further ado, if you don't have any other things to say, Beel, I think that's it.
Got some shout-outs. Shout-outs to all my future teammates, Mousy, Weeble, D-Flame, Goldfish, and everybody on that team. I love you guys. Shout-outs to Bear for just being an incredible medic. Good win, dude. GG's. Shout-outs to Sky for sticking through it all. Really having an iron will there. GG's too. To both teams, everybody. Shoutouts to my mom for having me. Shoutouts to I guess bot mode.
Yeah, one more. We're cutting you short.
What about you, Frick? You got any shoutouts for your game?
I want to make a big shout out to Console for putting this cast together. Sounded like he had some people bail on him pretty last second, and it was pretty miraculous he was able to pull something back together. I want to shout out Console for all the work he does for various land casts and for TFTV in general. I want to shout out to all the other casters and production people, because I don't think they get quite enough claim to fame. You know, they're not out there able to play in the big tournaments because they're sitting behind a monitor watching other people play. And shout out to Try for being a great ESEA admin.
Yeah, we love you, Try. You're the best.
So yeah, without further ado, that's been our cast of Mentality versus Velocity. Have a good night, everybody.
You guys are great. Have a great one.